Hey everybody, Apostle Claver T, Kamau-Imani here. I'm going to have to talk a little loud today on our raging vlog because we're out here on the South Loop, the very busy South Loop, where probably about 1 million cars pass by every day. Traffic coming off the MLK Jr. exit of the South Loop here going eastbound. And that's what we like. So I don't mind talking a little bit loud today because thanks to you, our really first big project has been completed. You can see it behind me. There it is. The Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican billboard has been done, thanks to you. This billboard is simply our first salvo, an opening salvo, just a shot across the bow to say that conservatives are coming. No longer are we going to take the votes of African Americans and Hispanics for granted. We're not going to take their issues for granted. We're not going to ignore their issues anymore. We're not going to ignore their votes anymore. And we're not going to give up their votes to liberals. Not anymore.
Yeah, this particular billboard boasts a picture of the late Martin Luther King Jr. and sits along a street with the same name. But it is the message, not the image, that's got people yelling.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Okay, well now you know that.
But I'm not a politician either.
And I don't believe you're acting politically now.
Because I disagree with this.
Well, the disagreement is over a statement that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican. Members of a grassroots group called RagingElephants.org paid for the message, which went up on the 4th of July. The group's organizer says he wants to attract minorities to vote conservative.
What we are attempting to do is lead African Americans and Hispanic to vote for their values, their social and economic values.
KPRC Local 2 reporter Carl Willis live is in front of that billboard right now, which is at the MLK Boulevard exit right off of the South Loop, in case you're wondering. So, Carl, can you explain what this sign is actually advertising?
Well, Dominique, it's advertising a Republican website, and several similar billboards have popped up across the nation, but Houston's first look at one has certainly created controversy. This billboard right at the exit for MLK Boulevard, claiming that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican, has drawn outrage from some black pastors and activists. That group got a chance to voice their anger directly to the man responsible for the sign.
The group that paid for the sign is hoping it will recruit African Americans to their party.
That's speculation. That's speculation.
Political activists bickered with each other along the South Loop today. The point of contention, a large billboard which boldly declares Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican.
This is offensive to us.
The sign fired up some civil rights activists.
This total lie that stands behind us should be destroyed.
And in the time of Dr. King's life, he affiliated heavily, along with his father, with Republicans.
The Political Action Committee that paid for the sign, RagingElephants.org, says it wants to show Houston that conservatives are offering solutions to problems in the African American community.
What we simply want to say is that the issues of African Americans, as far as conservatives are concerned, will no longer be ignored.
The purpose, again, is to divide our citizens and to bring negative information against our leaders.
But some argue Dr. King did not align himself with political parties because it would not benefit his efforts to unite people.
We don't know whether Dr. King would be in favor of a Republican today or not. Nobody knows that. But we do know that back in the 60s, he certainly shared Republican conservative values. There's no question about that.
This young punk wasn't even born when I started bringing Dr. King's name alive in this town.
RagingElephants.org paid to keep that billboard up until the end of the month.
It was right here at this spot, literally last Friday, when a press conference took place called by Minister Kwame-X of the new Black Panther Party. Who would have known that because that press conference was called and because the billboard company really spooked when they saw Kwame-X's image on the television screen and thus pulled our billboard down, that it would have exploded into all the publicity and positive news that RagingElephants.org has received. You know, the book of Genesis ends with Joseph saying, "What you meant for my harm, the Lord has turned to my good." And that's exactly what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the billboard was up for about 10 days. And we didn't get all this exposure, didn't get all this publicity. We didn't grow our email list or our donor base until Someone who decided to really demagogue the issue, namely Minister Kwan-El-X, decided to call that press conference right here on that Friday. It has been an absolute media whirlwind for us at RagingElephants.org. The folks that we've had the chance to talk to, all the television stations and networks that has picked up the story and the billboard, just one little billboard is now known from coast to coast. Picked up by CNN, picked up by Fox News, appearances on John Gibson's show, Sean Hannity's show, sit-down interview with the local Fox 26 News here in Houston. Radio stations in Mississippi, Alabama, Denver, Florida, Chicago, television stations in Phoenix, in Los Angeles, in New York City, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Newspaper articles across the nation as well, and blogs innumerous, just because of one billboard that we believe we were led to erect. We're just getting started. At the beginning of this video, we thanked you for your financial support. You saw all the media coverage, you saw all the controversy, and now you have seen all the positive that has come out of it. We now have a national footprint. Hey, it was worth it. Sean Hannity's show. I mean, whatever we spent for the billboard to get an audience of 13 million people for 5 minutes, now that's a bargain. Don't you wish our federal government was that shrewd when it came to getting bargains? We thank you again for your support. All our new supporters that signed up to the website, RagingElephants.org, all of you that have donated, I mean literally across the country, to help us fight the tyranny that's trying to overrun our country. We vow to you that we will continue to fight for a new tsunami of liberty to flood from sea to shining sea in the greatest country God ever created, the US of A. Stay tuned to RagingElephants.org. Continue to follow our efforts. Continue to support us, especially financially, and watch a conservative resurgence come to manifestation in this nation. We intend to take the lead. For your attention, I thank you. I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani.